Think back. How many times did you say later? Later I'll travel. Later I'll write. Later I'll love. But later never comes. One day, you wake up and see that months, even years have passed. The dream is still waiting, and you are still saying later. Most people live this way. We wait for the right time, the perfect chance, the clear sign. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. There is only now. Tell me, how are you today? Did you drink water in the last hour? If not, take one sip now, your body will thank you. And then type the first letter of your city in the comments. That small action will remind you you are here alive, ready to start. Every great story begins with one brave step. Santiago, the boy in The Alchemist, could have said later. Later, I'll leave the sheep. Later, I'll chase the dream. But if he had waited, he would have lost the treasure forever. This story is also about you. Your dream is the seed. Your fear is the cage. And today, you will learn how to break the cage and plant the seed. Stay with me until the end, because I will give you one small practice you can use right now to begin. Do not let later steal your life. Today can be your day. Right here, right now, is the door to your own treasure. Let me tell you a story. There was a young shepherd named Santiago. Each night, when he closed his eyes, the same dream returned. In that dream, he saw treasure near the pyramids of Egypt. He woke up with his heart racing. He could not ignore it. It was not just a dream, it was a call. Many people have felt this same pull. Think of a child who keeps playing doctor. Every day the child checks dolls and toy bears. It looks like play, but deep inside it is a seed. That seed says, I want to heal people. Dreams are not random. They are the whispers of our soul. Santiago felt this, and that is why he left the comfort of his sheep. Elon Musk had the same fire. As a boy, he spent hours reading books about space. People laughed, but he could not stop. He listened to that dream, and years later, rockets carried his vision into the sky. If he had stayed silent, nothing would have changed. This simple English story shows that dreams can guide a life. Dreams are like maps. If you ignore the map, you walk in circles. If you follow it step by step, you move closer to your treasure. Ask yourself, what dream are you hiding? Is it to travel? To learn English for beginners? To build something new? If it comes back again and again, it is not noise. It is your call. There are always two choices. One is to wait and say later. Later I will learn. Later I will love. Later I will live. But later never comes. The other choice is to start now. Santiago chose to move. That is why his life turned into a story full of lessons. Santiago was still carrying the dream of treasure, but dreams can be heavy when you walk alone. On his way, he met a gypsy woman, and then an old king named Melchizedek. Both told him the same thing: follow your personal legend. That is another way of saying follow the deepest call in your heart. Have you ever felt it too? A voice that whispers you are made for more. Maybe you want to start a new job, or share your art, or move to a new city. But when no one knows, that dream feels like a secret locked inside you. Santiago had to decide: keep the dream in silence or speak it out loud. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. These words sound big, but here's a simple way to see it. When you tell a friend you want to play a game, they join you. If you hide it, you play alone. The universe is like that friend. It waits for you to say your dream first. But many of us do the opposite. Some people keep their dream hidden, afraid. Others will laugh. Others dare to say it out loud. Which one are you? The one who hides the song, or the one who sings? Even if the voice shakes. And here's a small action for you. Share one dream with at least one person you trust this week. It could be as small as saying, I want to learn guitar, or I want to get healthier. Saying it makes the dream real. Keeping it inside makes it only a wish. Let's pause for a breath here. If you've been sitting for a while, stand, stretch your arms, let your blood flow, and then type the first letter of your dream in the comments. This tiny step is science-backed. When you repeat and write, your brain locks the memory stronger. Vygotsky showed this in 1978. Your words shape your world. So think of Santiago again. He spoke his dream, and the old king gave him 2 stones as a sign. It was like the universe saying, I hear you. From that moment, Santiago was no longer walking alone. He was walking with the whole world beside him. Now I'll ask you, who will be the first person you tell about your dream? Back to our boy now. The guides were gone, and the road felt cold. Santiago reached Tangier, a busy port full of noise and new words. In 1 short hour, he lost all his money. A smooth thief smiled, grabbed his coins, and slipped into the crowd. The boy stood still. His hands were empty. His heart felt empty too. He wanted to go home. Most of us know this sting. You lose a wallet. You drop your phone. You make one wrong click and lose a week of work. Your chest gets tight. Your mind says, quit, go back. This is normal. But first, failure is not the end. It is a test. It asks, how much do you want this? Let's keep it simple, like a game for a small child. When you fall, you learn balance. When you touch the hot pot, once you learn to use a glove. Falling is part of walking. Pain is part of growth. The boy felt alone, but the lesson had begun. Here is a small step you can try. When you fail, write 3 things you still have. You still have your body. You still have your mind. You still have time. Add more if you can. A friend's number, a skill you learned, a safe place to sleep. When you see what you still hold, fear gets smaller and hope gets room to breathe. Think of Walt Disney. He went broke before he built Disney. People said he was done. He was not done. He learned from the fall. Then he drew again. The castle we know today rose from days that looked lost. Your road can rise the same way. Two paths appear after a loss. One person goes home and locks the door. The other person starts again with what they have. The second path looks slow, but it wins. It turns a bad day into strong legs. It turns a lost coin into wise eyes. Take a soft reset with me now. Roll your shoulders back and breathe in once. If this story helps save this video so you can listen again later, hearing a simple English story more than once makes the lesson stick. That is why this book summary in English also works as an audiobook summary for English for beginners. Let's meet our boy again. He looked at the busy market. He could not speak the language. He had no money for food, but he still had 2 hands, a young mind and time before night. He chose to use them. He asked for work. He cleaned glass. He moved boxes. Small steps brought small wins. Small wins brought back his will. Ask yourself now, when was the last time you fell and still stood up? Name that day. Feel the strength that was born there. Keep it close. You are stronger than you think, and this road will prove it one step at a time. The boy found himself in a small crystal shop. The glass was dull and covered with dust. The owner was tired, quiet, and afraid to change. Santiago asked to work, and the owner agreed. He began to clean every piece of glass with care. By the end of the morning, the shelves shone, and the first customer in days walked in. That was the start of something new. The boy had ideas that the old man never dared to try. He said, "Let's place a small stand outside so travelers can see the glass." The owner hesitated, but gave in. Soon more people stopped. More coins filled the box. Another day, Santiago suggested tea in crystal cups. Tourists climbed the hill, tired and thirsty. So why not give them tea? The owner was afraid. But once they tried, a line formed outside. People drank, smiled, and bought more. The shop came alive. Santiago learned that a small risk mixed with creativity can change everything. This is the lesson. When you only do the same things, life stays small. When you dare to test new things, doors open. Think of Starbucks. It started as one small coffee shop in Seattle. They tried something new, coffee as an experience, not just a drink. That one idea grew into thousands of stores worldwide. Progress is impossible without change. It's simple. If you eat the same food every day, you get bored. If you never try something new, your life feels stuck. Growth comes from change, not comfort. and you do not need to start big. One small step today can begin a chain of big change. Here's something you can try now. Choose one small new action in your daily work. It could be as simple as moving your desk, making a call, standing up, or adding one kind note in an email. Keep the step so small you cannot fail. Repeat it tomorrow. That is how progress builds. This simple English story is not just a story. It is also a book summary in English and a kind of audiobook summary for English for beginners. If you come back and listen again, the lesson will stay deeper in your mind because learning, like change, needs repetition. And each repeat makes you stronger, ready to try the next step. We all know this feeling. Life gives us little notes, but we miss them. A call at the right time, a word we needed, a face that shows up again after years. These are not just random. They are hints. They are signs. And that is where our boy was. Alone in the desert, yet not alone. The desert had a voice, if only he would learn to listen. Now, let's return to Santiago. The small shop grew busy. The boy grew brave. From that hill, the road led to the wide sand. A long caravan waited. Drums sounded. Camels knelt. Santiago joined the line with a quiet hope in his chest. The desert looked empty, but it spoke in a shy way. It spoke with small signs. On the first days, the sun was strong. The wind was sharp. The group moved slow. A man lost a shoe, then found it 10 steps later. 2 birds crossed the sky right when the guide chose a new path. A child dropped a cup, and the cup did not break. All of this seemed small, yet the boy felt a tug. He thought, these are not just random things. These tiny notes are the desert's voice. You have seen this too. You need help, and an old friend calls. You think of a book, and you see it on a shelf that day. You plan to quit, and 3 good signs show up in 1 week. Most of us shrug and move on, but some people slow down and listen. They connect the dots. Steve Jobs spoke of this at Stanford. He said the dots connect when you look back. The boy learned to connect them while he walked forward. Here is a way to train that skill. Tonight, write down 3 small signs from the last 7 days. Keep them short. A name you saw twice, a chance meeting at a bus stop, a message that came right when you needed it. Then ask a gentle question. If these were a note from life, what might it say? Do not force a big answer. Let a simple hint rise up. This is how you learn the language of signs. Let's bring your mind and body back for a second. Have you had water in the last hour? If not, take 1 sip now. Your head will feel clear. Then type the first letter of your state in the comments. 1 letter is easy. It wakes you up to the present. It also helps more people find this simple English story and learn English through stories with you. Some people say, everything happens for a reason. That line can sound too big, so think of it like this. When you tell a friend, "Let's play," your friend starts to look for a ball. When you tell your day, "I want to grow," your day starts to bring you small signs. You still must choose. You still must walk. But the floor lights up one step at a time. The desert tested the boy with long silence. He learned to watch. He watched the sky. He watched the sand. He watched his own breath. When fear grew, he looked for one small sign. A bird call, a footprint, a sudden change of wind. Each sign was like a hand on his back. It said, "Go on." This is also true for us. We do not need a loud voice. We need calm eyes and a soft heart. Try this before sleep. Close your eyes. Place a hand on your chest. Ask, "What was one sign today?" Wait 10 slow breaths. A small moment will rise. Hold it with care. Thank it. This tiny habit builds a new path in your mind. Next time a sign shows up, you will notice sooner. You will act faster. That is how a fate grows into a road. Our boy kept walking with the caravan. Night fires burned low. The stars felt close. He was not alone. The world was walking with him, step by step, and the signs were enough to keep the dream alive. The road through the sand had taught our boy to read small signs. The stars were kind, the fires were warm, and then life gave him a gift he did not plan. Let's step back into the story now. Our boy reached an oasis with tall palms and clear wells. There, he saw a young woman. Her name was Fatima. She stood with a jar and a soft smile. His heart knew her before his mind did. He said hello. The word felt new like water after a long walk. They met again the next day, then again. Each talk was short, but the feeling grew fast and true. Love can scare a dream. Many think love says, "Stay here." Real love says, "Go on. I'll cheer for you." Fatima heard about the treasure. She did not hold him back. She said, "Follow your path. I will be here." In that moment, the boy learned a clear rule. True love never keeps a man from his destiny. It gives strength to his steps. You can see this in daily life. One person dates and sets rules. Do not try that. Do not leave town. The other person dates and lifts. Go learn. I'm proud of you. The first kind feels like a small room with no air. The second kind feels like a wide sky with a soft wind. Love should be the wind. Think of Barack and Michelle Obama. Their roads were busy and hard, but they showed up for each other. They made space for work and for care. They lifted, not locked. That is why their bond looks strong to us. Some fear that love will steal time from the dream, but the heart does not work like that. When you feel seen, you think clearer. When you feel safe, you move faster. Our boy felt this power. With Fatima's faith, The road looked less dark. The sand felt less heavy. He could hear the signs again. Now, a quick check with you. Are you holding someone's wings? Or are you lifting them up? And are you letting someone lift yours? Type one letter that stands for a person who cheers for you. Small notes like this help more people find this simple English story. This book summary in English and this audiobook summary for English for beginners. Real love is not a cage. It does not clip your flight. It is the wind that fills the sail. It is the voice that says, "Go, I'm here." That is what Fatima gave the boy. And with that gift, he turned his face back to the path and kept walking toward the treasure that was calling his name. The air around the caravan grew softer. The stars came close, and the boy no longer felt alone. That peace led him into the desert, where one night he found a man by the fire. This man was calm, with quiet eyes, and people called him the Alchemist. He did not ask about gold. He only asked, "What does your heart say?" The boy looked down. He said, "It beats fast when I walk near my dream." The Alchemist smiled. "That beat is your map," he said. And from that moment, the boy began to learn how to listen inside. This is a simple truth. Your mind can plan, your fear can warn, but your heart points the way. When you do something right, you feel it. Your chest feels light, your steps more sure. You do not need magic, you need a steady ear. Mother Teresa lived with this habit. Many people said her work was too hard, but her heart told her to walk toward those in pain, and she listened. Her choice gave light to people who felt left in the dark. She did not follow fear. She followed the soft beat in her chest. Think of it like this. A compass can shake when the wind is strong, but it always points north again. Life shakes you too, but your heart will point again if you are still enough to look. Now pause for a small check. Have you had water in the last hour? If not, take one sip now. While you do, type one letter below. Write H if you heard a hint from your heart today. Write F if fear is louder right now. This small act wakes you up and helps you learn English through story with us. The Alchemist told the boy, "Do not run from fear. Ask it why it came. Then walk with care, not with panic." Each day the boy sat in silence. He asked his chest one question: "What is the most important thing today?" Some days the answer was learn. Some days it was help. Some days it was wait. And when he listened, the road felt lighter. Come. Love gave the boy courage. His heart gave him direction. The alchemist gave him tools. And he saw that every treasure begins inside. Every map starts in the chest. When you honor it, the world clears the path. And even when you forget, the beat will call you back. So ask yourself now, are you hearing fear first or heart first? If your heart is quiet, give it space. drink water, breathe slow, ask again, then take one small step. That is how fate grows into a road. Love gave him courage. His heart showed the way. But the desert still had one more test for him. It asked if his faith was real or only nice words. That is when the lesson of turn into the wind began. Back to our boy. Enemies stood near the camp. The chiefs wanted proof that the boy had true skill. Cross the sand with your spirit, they said. Become the wind. The words sounded wild. His hands shook. His mouth went dry. He did not know how, yet he did not run. He stood still and listened for that small beat in his chest. Here is the clear rule from this scene. Limits live first in the mind. When the mind is tight, the world looks tight. When the mind opens, roads appear. Think of people who once said, "I can't run a marathon." They started with 1 slow mile, then 2, then 5. Weeks turned into months. One day they crossed the line. The body followed the mind. The boy asked the desert for help. He spoke to the wind. He spoke to the Sunday. He spoke to the hand that made all things. He asked in a simple way with trust, and the wind did rise. Sand spun in wide rings. Tents bent low. The camp cried out. When the dust fell, the boy stood where he had stood. The chiefs looked at each other with wide eyes. The test had become his door. You can use this lesson today. Pick one thing that feels too hard. Make it small enough to start now. 10 push-ups on the wall. 5 new words in your English notebook. 1 honest email you have feared to send. Keep the step so small it is almost funny. Do it every day for 1 week. This is how can't becomes can. This simple English story, this book summary in English, is here to remind you that tiny steps change a life. Alexander the Great once said, "There is nothing impossible for the one who will try." Read that line again, slow. You do not need perfect skill to try. You need a first step, then a second. Each step pumps the heart like blowing air into a small balloon. With each breath, the balloon grows. With each try, your courage grows. Think of Helen Keller. She could not see or hear. People thought her road was closed. Still, she learned to read, to write, to speak to the world. She became a writer and a speaker. She showed that the wall we fear is often a line of chalk. One brave move, and the line is behind you. There are 2 kinds of people. One stands far away, waits, and says, "Not me." The other steps closer, shakes a little, and says, "I will try." Which one are you today? Be kind to yourself, but be brave. Set a tiny win task for the next 24 hours. Write it somewhere you can see. Do it, then mark it done. Save this audiobook summary and replay it while you walk. Repeating the lesson makes the path feel easy under your feet. Back to our boy once more. The camp was silent. The chiefs had seen enough. The alchemist nodded with a calm smile. The road opened again. The boy was still the boy, yet not the same. He had met his fear, and he had moved anyway. That is what turning into the wind really means. It is not magic. It is trust plus action, one small breath at a time. And that is how you and I will walk the rest of our road. The sand was calm again. The camp grew quiet. Our boy and the alchemist walked on. Days later, the pyramids rose like giants in the light. Back to our story now. Santiago fell to his knees and cried. He had made it. He dug in the hard ground with wild hands. Hours passed. His fingers bled. Night came. Thieves found him first. They hit him, laughed, and took his coins. One man mocked him and said a strange thing. I once had a silly dream too, he said. It said there was treasure under a tree far away. He pointed to a land that was the boy's first home. That line broke the circle open. The clue was clear at last. The treasure was not here. It was back where the road began. The boy's heart did not hate the miles. His heart was full. He now knew what the journey had made inside him. Let's pause one breath. If you have not had water in an hour, take one sip now. Roll your shoulders once. Let your eyes rest. Small care keeps your mind sharp for the last part of this simple English story. Back to the boy again. He crossed the sand one more time. He reached the old church. The tree still grew through the roof. The sheep fields were near. He dug at the roots slow and sure. The shovel hit something strong. He pulled up a small chest wrapped in cloth. Inside were coins, gems, and a mask of gold. He laughed and cried at the same time. The treasure had been waiting for him all along. Here is the sweet twist. The chest was not the only prize. The real treasure was the journey. He had learned to trust signs. He had found love. He had grown brave. He had learned to listen to his heart. Gold was proof, not the point. The real treasure was the journey the story tells us. Those words are the key. You have felt this too. You start to learn English to get a job. Weeks pass. You notice a bigger win. You can speak to new friends. You feel proud in a new way. That feeling is worth more than a line on a resume. Growth is the gift that never runs out. J.K. Rowling's path shows this well. She faced many no letters. Money was tight. She kept writing. The series came later. The first prize was the writer she became on the way. That inner win built the outer wins we all know. Let's keep it clear for a young mind. A game is fun while you play it, not just at the prize. A song is joy from the first note, not only at the end. Life works the same. If you only chase the result, you miss the light on the road. Try one small habit this week. At the end of each day, write one thing you learned from the day. On Sunday, list 5 things the week taught you. Do not list wins only. List little lessons too. I kept a promise. I asked for help. I rested when I was tired. This is how-to for keeping treasure where it matters inside you. Let's make space for a soft smile now. Think of one person who walked with you this month. Send them one kind line today. Love is part of the treasure too. If this book summary in English or audiobook summary helps save it. Hearing a story twice helps memory, even for English for beginners. There are 2 ways to live. One way is to stare at the prize and grind your teeth. The other way is to walk, learn, and let each mile teach you. The second way builds a strong heart. It keeps joy with you even when the prize moves. Our boy stood under the tree and looked up through the roof. He could hear leaves touch the light wind. He could feel Fatima's faith across the sand. He could feel the alchemist's calm hand on his back. The circle had closed, but he was not the same boy. He had become the person who could carry a treasure without losing himself. Ask yourself now, what is one treasure your week already gave you? Say it out loud. Write it if you can. Keep it near your bed. Read it in the morning. This simple step is how a story turns into your life. You and I have walked far. We met a boy, lost coins, found signs, and kept going. We saw that love can lift, not lock. We saw that fear can test, not stop. We learned that a heart can point like a small compass. And we learned the quiet truth, the road makes the treasure. Take one slow breath with me. Sip a bit of water if you can. Feel your chest rise. Good. That is your small yes to life today. Now look at your week with soft eyes. What step did you take? You spoke a dream. You tried one new thing. You listened for a sign. These are not small at all. These are the bricks of a new road. Keep your tools close. Write one word for the day each morning. Share one line of your dream with a kind friend. At night, note one lesson you gained. Save this simple English story and play it again. Repeating a book summary in English or an audiobook summary helps it live in you. If this story touched you, leave a light sign. Press like. Share it with one friend who needs a calm voice. Tell us your dream in one short line. Your words may lift a stranger today. Thank you for walking with me. Your time means a lot. Your steps mean more. From this hour on, walk like Santiago, steady, warm, and free. Whisper this with me as you go follow your legend. The treasure is you, and when you need a friend on the road, come back here. I'll be right here for you every day, ready to help you grow your English and your life. This is English Calm, a channel built with care. Comment your country or just the first letter. We truly value every word. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.